Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's the Moon Commander back in the building. What's up, everybody? It's the Bagman back in the mothership. Mothership 589. How's everybody doing out there? Hope y'all are doing well, holding strong, and continuing to stay extra bullish. Shout out to all the new members, all the new subscribers, and shout out to the 1% diamond hand strong FUD busting army. SEC trying to stop Ripple's subpoena. XRP XLM, the new wave of the financial system. Also, the Sparkles NFT platform about to drop. So if you're an NFT creator, get ready for that. XRP FLR, the takeover is coming. Let's go ahead and jump into the news, jump into the charts, and get that hodl game extra strong. Remember to sell the FUD and buy up that bag, because a bag a day keeps the banksters and the scammers away. Let's go ahead and jump on that bull and get that soul extra bullish.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all them empty.
The show continues. Mr. Hinman was one of the ones that ruled that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities, despite the latter debuting an initial coin offering ICO in 2014. The Securities and Exchange Commission has filed today a motion to quash Ripple's deposition subpoena to Director William H. Hinman, former director of the SEC's Division of Corporate Finance. The SEC argues that the defendants bear the burden of showing exceptional circumstances justifying the deposition, and stated that Ripple Labs and its co-founders cannot meet this high burden. Who is William H. Hinman? Calling the former SEC Director of Corporate Finance to the stand may be part of Ripple's move to turn the lawsuit against the Securities and Exchange Commissions. With XRP, they said the status has not been determined, but with Bitcoin and Ethereum, they said they're not securities. Enter the great shakeout for the XRP holders. They know what we're holding. They don't want you with it. James F. Killian with a convoluted and contradictory motion to quash. First, Hinman gives a pass to ETH, and then what is arguably the most impactful speech on digital currencies at the time, as well as Hinman's career at the SEC. Second, the SEC, Hinman held a position of critical importance to the SEC's operation. Third, the SEC then says Director Hinman has no unique first-hand knowledge of the market participants' understanding as to the regulatory status of XRP offers and sells. Fourth, the SEC shows weakness, saying the court should quash the subpoena without prejudice until after Judge Torres' ruling on the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense. Finally, Hinman finishes it and his credibility off with the declaration that, to the best of my knowledge, the commission had not taken at that time and still has not taken any position or expressed a view to whether offers and sales of Ether constituted offers and sales of securities. 5, I expect that Ripple and the individual defendants are going to absolutely shred this in their response to the SEC's motion. The great shakeout continues. Watching the SEC vs. Ripple lawsuit unfold and adding this video, there are only two conclusions to draw from my opinion. The SEC did not do their due diligence before filing the lawsuit, treating Ethereum and XRP different based on pure ignorance.
Now, you also talked about initial coin offerings, or ICOs, which are ways of raising money using cryptocurrencies. Did you use a similar reasoning? You implied that most seem to be securities, ICOs, but some of them are not. Can you just show us what the difference is simply?
I wish we had a simple way to say this is in and this is out. As I mentioned, there are usually facts and circumstances tests. But a key factor is there a third-party promoter here who knows much more about the instrument than investors might? If that's the case, that's sort of an initial indicator that we might have a securities transaction. If people are buying it for investment and for a return and looking to that party for a return, then again, that's an indicia of a security.
Okay, so I'll talk a bit about the funding model. So we will have a fundraiser for 2 months starting February 1st. It will be available at funds.ethereum.org. So the idea is that part of the initial issuance will be 1,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin, or up to 2,000 Ether for 1 Bitcoin if you get in early to compensate for the increased risk. So the issuance model is that we will fundraise. Suppose that we hand out X Ether through the fundraiser. Then there will be about 0.5x will be pre-mined, and then 0.4x after that will be mined per year forever. So it's this hybrid of the Mastercoin and Ripple model.
In your speech that neither Bitcoin nor Ether would be considered securities and thus not under the purview of the SEC, can you very briefly explain what your reasoning is?
Sure, Bob. These are complex facts and circumstances tests, but when we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So we're comfortable in some sort of viewing these as items that don't have to be regulated as security. When we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter.
Then there will be
third-party promotion.
About 0.5.
Ethereum should be the ones in court right now. But the great shakeout continues because they want those bags because they know what XRP was designed for. So this was interesting. Andreessen Horowitz raises mega 2.2 billion crypto fund, hires SEC veteran Hinman. The new funds show a 16Z has gone all in crypto. The appointment of former SEC honcho Bill Hinman shows regulation in a major concern. What's interesting about this is Andreessen Horowitz is also an investor in Ripple, which Ripple is trying to subpoena Hinman, and the SEC is trying to squash that. So something going on behind the scenes. All I know is I got my bags packed. They can drop the price as low as they want. I'm going to continue loading up on the greatest opportunity at hand. James Rule XRP, false statements from the SEC News. Who can trust the criminals that are running this country for payments behind closed doors? XRP is not a security about the SEC. Worthy of public trust. Who can trust these criminals? Flare community. It seems though Jay Clayton opened up a can of worms for the SEC. What an embarrassment. In the end, justice will prevail and XRP will be the one and only digital asset in the space with regulatory clarity, setting the standard. The significance of this should not be underestimated. If you have a bag, welcome to the new 1%. Shout out to Crypto Siege. I've seen this over on Crypto Siege. Some good nuggets in this video. Corda developer explains XRP and the new financial system, XRP XLM.
And actually, before I even get too into this, one of the biggest things, and I'll kind of get into this here, I actually don't value anything in dollars anymore. I either value it in XRP or I value it in gold. I actually believe the entire dollar system is how should I put it? A
Ponzi scheme.
It's worse than that. It's almost like a bank structured scheme to enrich the people that manage the money while impoverishing the people that use the money. It's almost like this, right? The banks tell you to put your money in the bank and save it, but you put your money in the bank for them to buy assets, for them to get rich off of, just for your money to lose its value so they can pay you back with cheaper dollars. See what I mean? You don't want to necessarily call it exactly a scam. It's one of those, you get the shortest end of the stick. And yeah, not to mention, if the system fails, you lose your money too, even though they make all the profits. So it's like it is a lose-lose type of situation, in my opinion. And it's funny too, if you actually look at things being priced in dollars, you look at the stock market priced in dollars, you look at properties priced in dollars, it makes you really think, wow, if I was a banker and I was pricing my assets in dollars or pricing my assets in gold, and I didn't use dollars at all, like it's one of those things where if you bought a house in 1980 and you sold that same house in 2005, but you sold it in gold, you would get the same amount of gold back as you did in the 80s. But if you bought it and sold it in dollars, you would have to pay over $200,000 more in dollars in 2002 than you would in the 1980s, even though it would have been the same amount of gold. And and that's the thing, I'm not a gold guy. I'm not here to go, oh, everybody better get in gold. That's the only real money. Yeah. I'm not a gold guy. Yeah. But I do understand the functional utility of a financial instrument that can measure wealth. And gold does that really well. And but just as a notice, I typically don't like to value things in dollars, mostly because I think the whole system's rigged. And it's almost like a skewed system where the value that you see now is only valuable the second you see it. Because the second you see it again, it's less valuable. It's just hard to comprehend because it's losing its value so slowly. And the reason why that is like I said, it's set up in such a banking manner to where you almost need an entire payment platform with accounts to do this. Because in a system like that, you can already hook up the XRP accounts, the liquidity needed. But from one account to another account, XLM ends up working a lot better because I don't need to. In XRP, I need to have rights to not only the account that's issuing the token, but the account that's accepting the token, where XLM, I don't. And the reason why XRP is like that is, like I said, if you were running a banking organization, if I was running the Federal Reserve, and let me show you a good scale version of this. If I was running the Federal Reserve and I wanted to have absolute control over the amount of money being issued in the economy, all you have to do is basically say, okay, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Chase, all you banks or whatever, we're going to set you up with these primary crypto address accounts. And then under those accounts, you're going to have all of your user accounts under them. And then under the user accounts, you can issue the tokens under them. So what ends up happening is right off the bat, all the money that's sitting in the banking system would already move over onto a digital blockchain system without them actually having to fit around and try to actually move that money over and be able to get the maximum amount of liquidity in the shortest amount of time. But then what ends up happening is because you have to have the rights to be able to move the token, anybody that wants to make a payment, it'll seem like they're making a normal payment. But in reality, what's happening is you're making a payment. Your bank is basically signing the transaction to go from one bank to another bank. And you basically have to have a bunch of banks sign transactions between each other. Now, why is this important? One, you get the auditing of the IRS is able to audit these in real time. Not only are you able to audit it in real time, but it almost makes it impossible to steal money out of people's accounts. Because like I said, you've got to go through the bank to move money from one account to another account. Now, the reason why I say the banks have to operate these accounts, to operate any XRP account, anybody can start up an account. But to operate a account where you can issue underlying assets, you have to have control and rights to the underlying accounts. This is why I say this is why the banks would use it. They have one account as the bank, all the underlying accounts being the bank accounts, and then they can issue you your currency, your stock, your bond, whatever to you. Yeah. And then you end up getting this level of security because if I wanted to hack your account and steal money out of your account, I couldn't do it because
you'd have to only send it to your account or someone else's registered account.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. If let's say we both were operating off Chase Bank and I hacked money out of your account and put it into my account. Well, Chase saw everything that just happened. Chase saw everything that so there's really no way you can hack money out of people's account when it comes to a system like this because of how structurally sound the permissions are when setting up accounts that can issue underlying assets.
So that's why you believe XLM will be used more than XRP for central bank digital currencies?
I think it's going to be
because it's easier for them
it's
to.
one of those things where, yeah, it's
a lot less hassle.
In a general sense, I don't know who would end up being bigger. It comes down to how you want to look at these markets. Who has a bigger market? I think Stellar is going to be used, like I said, central bank digital currencies is going to be the number one use case for XLM and Stellar. I think XRP is going to be used as a back-end bank settlement token in regards to not only cross-border remittances, but domestic remittances. So when, like I said before at the beginning, where I said,
because everyone's forgetting the domestic remittances market. Everyone's talking about the 50 trillion cross-border, but within each country, there's more trillions, especially like in the US and. Yeah,
it's practically the banking system. It's practically the financial system. And that's the thing. Remember, I was telling you how slow it is, and for every $100 that they have that you may have in your bank account, they only have one on demand. Well, this essentially solves that problem because what ends up happening is instead of having, like you said before, instead of having to worry about being able to. One, if you need to borrow that money, you can get it instantly. You don't have to spend however many days it takes to send the money. But two, when someone asks for their money, you don't have to go, oh, give me a second for me to get this payment that's already on the way to come through. Their payments become instant. So a typical transaction that, let's say you're a bank and you wanted to pass a $50 million transaction, and it took 4 days to do so from all the different things that have to come play to move that money. Well, it would take a couple seconds. If you want to move billions of dollars, it take a couple seconds. So all that clogged up piping in the financial system from how slow money's moving around from bank to bank, institution to institution, merchant to merchant, merchant to bank, all these different moving parts will now be able to move up freely, quickly, and effectively with XRP, and not only between currencies, but between primarily derivatives. So it's almost like this. I think XRP will be used for digital currencies, but not public digital currencies. Almost like the same way where banks may deal with each other in bonds. They may make a purchase in $1 billion in bonds. People aren't going to buy their house in bonds, but I think they may end up treating the bond market in XRP so they can treat those bonds like cash. Where the regular user, the same way that you're not going to accept your, just like bonds in the banking's eyes is the same as cash, except you get some sort of return on them. That's the thing though, if you're going to be using it as cash, it doesn't mean it's the same thing as cash. So it's almost like we're going to have this front end, back end cash system of the back end domestic and cross border remittance cash system to move cash that way. And then the front end cash system, which is basically going to be like me sending you $5.
XRP XLM, the new financial system. Now you know why they don't want you with them bags. Link down below if you want to check out this interview. Christine Lagarde, good discussion with Europe's leaders today at the Euro Summit. The Euro area economy is bouncing back faster than anticipated, but the recovery is just only underway. Monetary and fiscal policies must continue to support each other to prevent the pandemic leaving lasting scars. Sologenic DEX, built on top of the XRP ledger, you can now pick up an app on the Apple Store or the Google Play, the new Solo wallet. Our newly updated Solo wallet will revolutionize your trading experience, built on top of the XRP ledger. Crypto tells El Salvador citizens eligible for a free airdrop of $30 in Bitcoin. Someone let them know to convert that into XRP. Flare Networks, exciting. Thank you for building on Flare. Sparkle's NFT. The journey awaits. The Sparkle beta sign up is now available. If you plan on using the XRP Flare ecosystem, your journey awaits. You can sign up for the beta and start jumping into that. Crypto Bull 2020, I predict 3 days of red candles across the board. If Bitcoin doesn't bounce here, we will revisit 30K. And if we don't bounce there, 26,000 is next. XRP could go as low as 40 cents. Let me know what y'all think down below. With that being said, XRP currently 61 cents. The up and down roller coaster continues. Buckle up because they want to shake you out because they know what you're holding. Crypto Bull saying it can possibly fall below the support zones here, dropping down to possibly into the 40s. If that's the case, I have some cash on the side to load up on the greatest opportunity at hand. The great shakeout continues as the 1% Diamond Hand family continues to load up on the greatest opportunity. Remember to sell that FUD, buy up that bag. Currently up here on the mothership, enjoying the show, continuing to stay extra bullish. Hope y'all continue to hold those good vibes. Remember to spread that liquid love and continue FUD busting the FUDsters out there. I'll catch you all up here on the mothership. Peace out, crypto fam.
On the moon, and I know you heard the boom. Why she want my bags now? Hey, why she want my bags now? There's a party on the moon, and I know you heard the boom. Why she want my bags now? Why she want my bags now? Hey.
Today is a day, so let's move party. Looking good and jaw dropping, never cocky.